If you're a data analyst or hoping to become a data analyst, there are 3 critical skills that you need above all others. Let's discuss those today here on Art Science. Hey, I'm Kevin Hartman. I'm an associate professor at the University of Notre Dame and founder of the Art+Science Analytics Institute, where our mission is to make you a better analyst. Data analytics is having a moment. Between the explosive growth of data that we've seen, the advancement of technology, the introduction of artificial intelligence, being a data analyst puts you smack dab at the center of all that change. And so it can be kind of confusing and even overwhelming for you to determine what skills do you need to focus on to be successful. Luckily, there are 3 skills that you need above all others to be successful. Those are your data strategist skills, your data techie skills, and your data design skills. Let's look at each of those now. The first critical trait of any successful data analyst is the data strategist skills. Here, you are the bridge between the data world and the business world. So what does it mean to be a successful data strategist? Well, it means that you have critical thinking skills. It means that you can break down complex problems into more manageable bits through analysis. It means that you can draw inferences from those analyses. It means that you can explain why you are seeing or why you're coming to the conclusions that you are. And really importantly, it means that you have a capacity for reflection. You take a very thoughtful and considered approach to the work you're doing with great attention to detail. You can find errors. You can identify and challenge biases in that way as well. So having this critical thinking capability is one of the most important things that a data strategist possesses. A second important set of skills for a successful data strategist is the ability to problem solve. Now, as a problem solver, you have great recognition skill. You are able to find problems and recognize that they exist. From there, you are able to generate solutions, feasible solutions that might solve that problem, and then have some capacity for evaluation, to look at those solutions and evaluate them across some dimensions that are important for the organization, be that time to implement or expected impact or something else. And then finally, you have the ability to implement. You're not just an idea person. You can take that idea and bring it to the ground, take it from concept all the way through to execution, and do that successfully. A third characteristic of a strong data strategist is industry knowledge. Industry knowledge means that you've experienced things in this industry. You understand how it works. You understand the lingo. You know where the data is and how to access it. That can be for very specific industry verticals like automotive or retail, to more general functional roles like marketing or HR. Once you've gained experience in those areas, you are just able to navigate them with greater efficiency, meaning that you acting as a data strategist can do that to great effect. The second critical skill of the successful data analyst is the techie skill set. Here, you are the owner of data. You can collect data. You can manage those data. There's really no limit to the amount of data that you can bring into the project when you are a successful techie. A proficient technical specialist has the ability to use a whole variety of tools, ranging from very simple and straightforward ones like spreadsheets, Google Sheets, Excel, to more complex, sophisticated tools like SQL, R, Python, all the way, depending on what the data situation is around that analyst, very specific technologies like AWS or Google Cloud. Ultimately, having techie skills allows you to just bring in more and more data to your project. And the more data that you have, the deeper your insights will always be. The third essential skill for a successful data analyst is the data designer skills. Now here, you are a communicator with data. You are able to tell stories to people who may not have the technical understanding that you do, certainly haven't spent the kind of time that you did in the data, and may not even have the context to the business situation. But regardless of who they are, you are able to craft data stories in a way that connects to them and they understand. So what does it take to be able to do that? Well, it takes a lot of creativity, but it also takes pairing that creative ability with the use of different tools. Those tools could be on the visualization side, things like Tableau or Power BI or Click, or if you're talking about using dashboards, something very specific like Looker Studio. Tools could also be more sophisticated tools like R and Python to do more complex visualizations with more complex data. But what is often overlooked in the data analyst skill set is the ability to use presentation software. And if you are going to be a successful data designer, you have to understand how to build good-looking, sharp presentations. That's using tools like Google Slides, PowerPoint, Keynote, even something like Canva is becoming much more acceptable in the business world today. And the reason that those tools are so important for you as a data designer is because today and for the foreseeable future, your stakeholders still expect you to put together a presentation deck and present your findings to them. So for you to be a successful designer and a successful communicator of the data stories that you have worked so hard to build, you're going to have to understand how to use a presentation tool. The combination of these three top skills make you a very successful data analyst, and it's what I like to call the Art+Science Mind. When all three of those skills are in harmony, you are perfectly positioned to craft memorable, impactful data stories that solve your stakeholders' problems. But one thing that is critically important to understand is that these skills are interconnected. They build on each other. Your skill as a data strategist is only going to shine if you can collect enough data to have meaningful, deep insights. And you're only going to communicate those meaningful, deep insights if you have the ability to design them in an effective way. Indeed, weakness in any one area will limit your abilities in all three. So as a data strategist, if you want to be successful, it's important to focus on these three skills, but build them all in balance. So how do you build these skills? Well, there's lots and lots of opportunities open to analysts to build either very broad or very specific aspects of these skills. Those opportunities include formal education, online certifications, and hands-on self-directed learning as well. In terms of formal education, whether we're talking about a 2-year college or a 4-year university or some master's program, what we've seen is an evolution of formal education towards more practical skill as students have requested it, as employers have demanded it out of the graduates of these programs. This means that students now have the opportunity to build skill in R and Python and technical tools. In terms of online certification, there is just a plethora of opportunity out there for you. If you as an analyst have a specific need that you want to address, you will find a program that will help you build that skill. Whether that are through broad kind of education programs like Udemy and LinkedIn Learning, to more specific instructor-led programs like Section or Elevator, to free tool training like Tableau's extensive training library. Whatever that skill is, you will find some way to gain some certification online around that skill. Yet the most effective way for you as an analyst to build skill in any of these areas is through self-directed, hands-on learning experiences. That could be in your current role if that role allows you those opportunities, but if not, that could be in you picking up project work that you define. It could be in you building an internship for a company that allows you to address the skills that you want to build and gain experience in, as well as help that company through some business challenge. And any data analyst can work on case studies. There are so many case studies that you'll find online. We have a number of them here at Art+Science on our blog that can help you identify specific capabilities and then build experience around that, whether it is in the collection of data, the cleansing of data, the analysis of data, or the visualization of data. There are case studies out there that can help you produce portfolio-worthy work that will not only demonstrate your abilities, it will build those skills as well. With so many opportunities for the analyst to build these skills, what really becomes important is the self-awareness for the analyst to understand where they have skill gaps, and then the self-motivation for them to go out, seek a program, whether that is through formal education or through online certification or through a self-directed hands-on project to address that gap and build those skills. So in summary, even though it can be a very confusing place to be today as a data analyst with all the change whirling around us, there are 3 top skills that you will need to be successful. Those skills are your data strategist skills, where you are the bridge between the business world and the data world. Your techie skills, which enable you to collect and manage loads and loads of data. And your data design skills, which allow you to communicate effectively to your audience in a way that resonates with them and leaves them with very memorable stories. By focusing on these skills, you can bring a lot of simplicity and direction to a very complex role, and importantly, be successful in it. Thanks again for watching. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an update from us. Make sure you forward this video on to anyone who's interested in data analytics, and check out the links below in the description, because we've got tons and tons of resources here at Art+Science that we would like to share with you to make you a better data analyst. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next video.